And I'm back, baby. Let me fix this. How is everybody doing tonight? Let me turn my. Okay, let me get myself together. How's everybody doing tonight, baby? What's up, Princess? And J Renee 8487. Chat, you know I can't see. Okay. What's going on, Latanya? But I didn't want nothing, y'all. Baby, I didn't want nothing. I just wanted to come down here and talk about a few people. But other than that, baby, hey, okay, right. I'm gonna wait for a few more people. Oh, Teddy looks good. Teddy needs to keep that short hair. This boy is so fine to me. Ugh. Anyways, let me stop looking at people. Man, honey. Okay. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get into it. So this is an exclusive. This is being reported by the Jasmine brand. RHOP's Karen Huger has new jail release date. Will be out September the 2nd. So the Jasmine brand exclusively reports that Karen Huger will be a free woman soon. Sources tell us that the 62-year-old is set to be released next week on September the 2nd. This marks an early release for Karen, who was sentenced back in February for 2 years with one suspended, $2,900 in fines, and 5 years of probation. As reported in 2024, Karen was convicted of driving under the influence and other charges connected to a crash near Oakland Drive in Potomac, Maryland. Thankfully, no other vehicles were involved in the incident, but Karen's white Maserati struck multiple street signs and trees before slamming into a pole. Later released, body cam footage showed Karen appearing intoxicated, slurring her speech and cursing at officers. Oh, Karen. Karen has dealt with 3 other alcohol related traffic cases. However, those cases did not result in jail time. Upon her release, Karen, also known as the Grand Dame, will be prohibited from driving for 1 year. What are your thoughts on Karen coming home? Would you want her back on RHOP? Well, from what I understand, I don't know. I thought they were done filming the season. I don't know why I thought that, but some people are saying online that they're actually still filming. So I don't know if filming ceased. I don't know, but if they are still filming, I wouldn't be surprised if Karen came on at the very. I wouldn't be surprised if Karen got in the last 2 or 3 episodes because they've been. I thought they were probably done because they started filming in June, July, August. Say might be wrapping it up right now because usually they film for like 3 months, right? 4 months. So I could see her basically catching if they are still filming, which I could believe it. I could see her probably catching like the tail end of it, and you know, as long as it's okay, baby, okay. I could see her probably catching about 2 or 3 episodes. Uh-huh. You know, y'all know Karen is my girl. I literally grew to love Karen when I went to BravoCon 2023. Before that, Karen was just Karen to me. But when I saw her cutting up at BravoCon, I like absolutely fell in love with Karen. Karen, as the people say, she paid her debt to society. The good thing about this, and I'm not just saying this because I like Karen, but the good thing about this is that no one was hurt. Hopefully, Karen learned her lesson. Thank you, Rosalind Bond, 623. Thank you so much. Hopefully Karen has learned her lesson. If she hasn't, then I don't really know what to say. Jail is a very serious thing. Some people don't mind going to jail, But everybody I know don't fool with jail like that. Okay, if they can stay out of it, they ain't trying to go there. If they pick the cameras back up and show Portia's marriage rental, they better show Karen coming through the gates with her straight backs and surfer shoes. Okay, exactly. If they can pick up those cameras and show that Portia and show us that Portia can finally film in that house, they can pick those cameras back up to show us Karen, girl, pumping it out of that jail cell. You know what I mean? Pumping it from that prison. Okay, they really could. So even if the cameras are down, I could see them still picking the cameras up just to film Karen at her home, probably giving us the latest. This is the thing, right? I feel like I hope Karen doesn't come back playing in her own face, because if Karen comes back still living in this land of the Grand Dame, I think that is, I don't think it'll be a good look for Karen. I think that is where Karen is going to mess up, if Karen comes back still on some I'm the Grand Dame. Girl, no, girl, you were actually just an inmate. I need you to dial it back, reel it in a little bit. So, hopefully she can come back and really kill the whole Grand Dame, at least for the time being. It is what it is. Karen messed herself up with this. Lil Nas better not get more time than Miss Alize Huger and her 14 DUI and 3 rehab stints. No shade. I know that's right. I'm hoping the jail humbled her too. That's a long time to be in jail. A year? Almost a year? New job has come with bigger blessings. Rodney, for the community you built and the comedy you provide. Now we know she was but we celebrating mama coming home indoors, of course. Okay. Child, I don't know how Karen gonna do on this 5-year probation. Because I don't think Karen, I can't remember. I don't want to say. I don't. Can she drink? She shouldn't. She shouldn't. But Karen's. You know what? Karen is not going to admit that she's an alcoholic. Even though Karen is an alcoholic, Karen is not going to admit that she's an alcoholic. She's not. I don't see Karen. I really don't see. I could drink what? Okay. I really could see Karen still coming out acting as if like she probably had too much to drink, but she doesn't have a problem with alcohol. Even though, not on probation? Oh, okay. So for 5 years, she can't drink. Okay. I could still see Karen coming out acting as if that, even though we know Karen's business, Karen, we know this is your 4th alcohol related offense. Bitch, your 4th, not your 1st, not your 2nd, not your 3rd. This is your 4th alcohol related offense. I could still see Karen coming out of that jail, still acting as if I don't have a problem, even though that was a mistake. I don't have a problem with alcohol. I could see Karen doing some mess like that. I really could. Karen is going to have to come out and act like a rich white woman, like Shannon did when Shannon was over there, girl, literally knocking pictures off the wall. Okay. Did we ever figure out who the young whippersnapper was in the car with her when she wrecked? Honey, no. You remember that's what Ashley said she did. Wasn't that Ashley? I don't want to lie on anybody, but wasn't that Ashley at the reunion who said that she heard somebody was in the car with her? She's gonna have to come back acting like Shannon. Shannon ran her whole car into somebody's house. Y'all want to talk about a drunk bitch? That's a drunk bitch right there. And girl, as far as I'm concerned, girl, all Shannon had to do was cry. And I feel like most of the viewers fell for the tears. That bitch ran her car literally into somebody's house. Somebody's driveway, something, girl. And Shannon came back crying, and girl, all was forgiven. Even though, girl, like I don't even watch OC. You know what the gag was to me? The reason, the reason why, the reason why I was so annoyed with Shannon, even though I don't watch OC, I remember everybody calling Shannon an alcoholic. Girl, I remember all the girls on the show calling Shannon an alcoholic. I remember them making her alcohol a problem. I remember the viewers talking about how Shannon was an alcoholic. That's why I was so kind of baffled that after all that happened, people were like, "Oh, girl, y'all been calling this lady a drunk for the longest," and I don't even watch OC, and I know that for a fact. They literally ended the reunion talking about Shannon and her alcohol just for her few months down the road, the girl to run her shit into somebody's house. My God, today I have made it after over a month long of missing my dosage of your lives, cousin. I'm here. Thank you, Nate. Thank you, Nene Janae. Thank you so much. Thank you. Karen could have got away with it though if she just would have came out and just admitted to her wrongs before that body cam footage came out. Karen really could have probably just got away with everything, in my honest opinion. Karen was screwed once that body cam footage hit. Girl, Beyonce's internet, it was a wrap for Miss Karen Huger. Karen should have just came out, played guilty. Girl, made sure that body cam footage didn't come out, and girl, Karen would have been okay. I really do believe that. It was that body cam footage that really messed up Karen, in the public's opinion, in my opinion. Once that hit, it was a wrap. Girl, wasn't nobody trying to hear what Karen had to say. Girl, you look, girl. I was talking to my friend about this the other night, and I remember even watching the body cam footage. Like, this is so embarrassing. I didn't even want to put the footage in my video because I was like, this is so embarrassing. Like, I was embarrassed for Karen. I was like, this is really, really embarrassing. Like, this is really, 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 like, really embarrassing. But then I said, girl, I don't know that lady. Okay. I don't know that lady, girl. And I went on in the shot. I said, well, girl, y'all look at what's going on with Karen. Girl, it's in the video. Girl, y'all know what's Ray been up to, girl. Can I say something? As much as people don't want to probably admit this, girl, I'm sure Ray probably pissed off Karen about to come home. People who have dealt with people who can be problematic, you wouldn't understand unless you've dealt with somebody like that, right? Parents who probably have children who are just not on the right path. One of the most peaceful things that can happen to like a parent when their child is misbehaving is knowing that they're probably in jail. I know that sounds crazy, but the people who get it are the people who get it. Because at that point, they're not stressing you out. You know they in jail, girl. You know they eating, sleeping, waking up, and going. You know what I'm saying? You know they probably might be in some trouble, but it ain't the trouble in the streets. So I can see Ray kind of relieved that at least for almost a year, he didn't have to worry about Karen running into no trees, drunk, being called out in the middle of the night. I could see Ray, he probably won't ever say it because he can't say it. But Ray I could see Ray probably being a tad bit relieved that he didn't have to worry about Karen. Yeah. That has to be a headache. That would have to be a headache. And Ray is a man of a particular age. Ray is damn near 80. Ray ain't got time to be worried about girl Karen drunk and girl not being able to control her alcohol, not wanting to get behind the wheel of a car. You know, like I always say, Karen was an irresponsible drunk. Wendy Williams was a responsible drunk. No shade. Every time I saw Wendy hopping out, every time I saw Wendy at the liquor store, baby, Wendy was getting in the back seat. No shade. No shade. Anytime. Oh God, I'm lit. Yes, ma'am. That's why you're here. That did it for me. Right. Oh God, I'm lit. Girl, all I'm saying is, girl, Miss Wendy was a responsible drunk. Karen was an irresponsible drunk. And that's why Karen is in jail. Okay? Well, girl. Girl, quiet as is kept. Karen had the money for a driver too, but they say she started fucking him. I don't know, because for what the word on the curb is that Ray got Karen a driver, but she started fucking him. So I don't know. I wasn't there, so I don't know what was going on. Because you remember Ray digging down in that bag for that ID, baby, wearing that bag out, looking for that driver's license. Baby, Ray was like, baby, they said Karen was fucking. That's how the whole Blue Eyes came. Because I think Blue Eyes used to drive her car. Because see, this is the thing. When Potomac first came on, Sharice was telling us Karen business, but didn't nobody like Sharice. Rodney, can you please do Ray looking for the license at the scene? I will. Sharice was telling us Karen's business, but didn't nobody like Sharice, so didn't nobody pay Sharice any attention. But Sharice had already told us that Karen was in and out of rehab. That I think the whole rumor, and maybe it was Giselle too. Maybe it was Giselle and Sharice. I can't remember. But somebody let it be known that I think Mr. Blue Eyes came about because that was her driver that Ray had hired for her, because at one point Karen wasn't allowed to drive. And I think that's how the whole Mr. Blue Eyes thing, because I think the driver had blue eyes. Is that how the story went? Girl, it's been like 9-10 seasons. Girl, I can't remember everything. Yeah, I think it was Sharice and don't want to interrupt. Just glad to catch a live. Love your channel. Thank you so much. Thank you, Salima. Thank you. I think that's what it was. Yes, I think it was Sharice and Giselle. It was one of them or both of them telling Karen's business. That's what happened. Okay, so yeah, she had a driver. I will be vindicated. That's what that bitch said. Baby, Karen, I think Karen got on TV lying her ass off. That's how you know Karen is a drunk. Karen got on TV still lying. That paid Sharice does because they knew Bravo wasn't right. But Sharice used to really tell us Karen T, but didn't nobody ever want to listen to Sharice. That's why I said, girl, the girls owe Sharice an apology, because Sharice been telling us about Miss Karen Huger. But Karen had the fans kind of, the whole grind dame, and Karen is a better housewife. So I think that's why nobody really paid attention to Sharice. I clocked it one time, like, oh girl, Sharice is actually in real life. They say Sharice is actually the real grind dame. For the show, it's Karen, but in real life, girl, they say it's Sharice. That's what the people say. They say Sharice is the girl. They say Sharice is the girl with the connections. Anyways, man, here go Ray. Here go Ray. Oh, baby. Oh, you want the license? I can't find the license. I got the license. You want my license? I can give you my license. I said, oh, right. Go on, baby. I said, oh, right. No, they don't want your license. They don't want your license, baby. They want hers. When Ray was digging through that purse, baby, you want mine? No, no, sir. We don't want your license, baby. We want that bitch license. Okay, because she the one who over here knocking over trees and posing signs. Oh yeah. But anyways, child. But yeah, Karen gonna be out. Next week from what the people say. Hopefully Karen, I think that Karen is probably going to be on the very tail end of the season because I think the season, like I said, girl, from what the people say, they're still filming. I can believe it because I think they started filming in June, July, August. Yeah, I can see them still filming. So, baby, come on, Carlos, come on. That's exactly what it was. Because the truth of the matter is, they say Sharice is actually the real Grand Dame. Yes. For the show, it's Karen. But in real life, Karen ain't got no pull like that. Baby. Anyways, child. But shout out to Karen. Hopefully Karen comes back acting like she got a little bit of sense. I see the Altoids, but not the license. Okay, right. So hopefully they come back and act like they got a little bit of sense. I did start watching. Have y'all watched Heart and Hustle? I started watching it. I'm like on episode 3. I'm like on episode 3. But anyways, so yeah. I said I was gonna talk about it in one of the Hot Topics videos. I wasn't gonna do like on the like. I don't feel like it's enough for me to just get down here and talk about each episode independently. But I said I might just throw it in the Hot Topics video. I think episode 4 just came on. But anyways, girl, I just want to talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville quickly. Baby, let me tell y'all something. So for the girls who don't know what's going on for Love and Marriage Huntsville, let me tell y'all something. I think that Martell, this is what I think. I think that we have a group of ain't shit niggas. And you have some of the niggas in the group who lie more than others. But you know how they say a broken clock is right twice a day? That's how I feel about Martell. Auntie KK lucky a robbery charge wasn't added. We all saw that arrest footage where the Don was trying to low-key bargain that alley cat officer talking about Thomas Jefferson's concubine, right? Okay, and when she tried, girl, and also when she tried to throw Andy Cohen name in there, girl. Hello. Thank you, Nene.